both of them are susceptible to the other guy's forte, to the other guy's strength. The mental. It's always important. Where is a guy mentally? 75% of this is mental. That edge has to go right now to Wardley, who just won the heavyweight title. He's undefeated, and Dubois coming off a knockout loss to Usyk. So mentally, you gotta have the edge.
Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois. We are hearing this could happen very, very soon, people. Sooner rather than later. So the next fight for both, not in the summer or in the winter, like next. Fabio Wardley, the current WBO Heavyweight World Champion. Daniel Dubois, the former IBF Heavyweight Champion. Yes, please. Yes, please. Please, God. Yes, please. I want this fight. I've spoken about this fight a few times because it's carnage. I can't predict a winner. I don't know what will happen. And that's what I like. Like, who likes going to the boxing when you kind of predict and you know what's going to happen? I like the idea of knowing nothing about this fight.
I see it all over internet today that Wardley versus Dubois is done, yada, yada, yada. Everyone, it's in every media outlet. It's everywhere, except for the actual promoter of both fighters, Frank Warren and Queensberry. They haven't put it out. So until they put it out, it's not confirmed. Believe that. Everybody's rushed to get a scoop on the inside info, apart from the confirmation being from the actual promoter of these fighters, who being Frank Warren. Until Frank says it's on, it's not on.
Yeah, it's a big payday for both of them as well. It's a fight I really like. It's an extremely exciting fight. You can pick either man in this fight, and you know, the winner stands in an extraordinary place because it will make a lot of noise if it does happen. It could be at Portman Road. You could take it to Tottenham Hotspur. You could, we need to have it before the World Cup starts in June, July.
Yeah.
So if they do it in May, it's a really good time to do it outdoors. I haven't really gone through my. I see Dubois the favourite early, but if the longer the fight goes, the more I see Fabio winning it, which makes sense, doesn't it? But it's a brilliant fight.
I think the man who's got the most momentum is the person who I'd have as the favourite, and obviously that's Fabio Wardley. His resume in his last 4 or 5 fights have been really good, as was Daniel Dubois before the Usyk fight. So it depends what the Usyk fight took out to Dubois. Will he be questioning himself? He's been accused of quitting again. Could have got up by certain people in the press, things like that, and these things will be playing on his mind, and it's whether he can come out and say, right, I'll fucking show yous, or he'll go within himself a little bit. I think it'll be the former, but I think the hand speed of Fabio Wardley will cause Dubois problems. He can be hit clean. Obviously, Wardley will have to be on high alert and can't afford to really make one mistake. But he is switched on, and I think Wardley is the man to pick.
That is one of the best fights in the heavyweight division stylistically at the moment. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm hearing, May the 9th is the date, possibly Manchester could be the venue. I know that O2 was rumoured.
Manchester, I had the conversation this morning, maybe Wembley, maybe Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
I
mean, it's a fight that merits a venue.
Oh yeah,
like Wembley, like the Tottenham Hotspur, like Manchester.
Well, first of all, it's a heavyweight clash.
Should it fill it?
Of one former world champion and one current world champion. Fabio Wardley is very popular and is building up a reputation, and people like him because he speaks brilliantly when you ever hear him. He's a very pleasant fellow, but he's done great work in the ring recently, with Joe Parker being the latest victim and recipient of outcomes that people projected that he couldn't achieve. Daniel Dubois divides opinion. But, because ultimately there's so many people that believe that Daniel Dubois can be another world champion again, but there's a section of the audience that thinks that maybe Daniel doesn't have the mental switch to deal with the real adversity when it comes on top. But what they both can do is they can punch. The fact is that it's a great fight and very bold of Fabio to take it.
Oh mate, when I heard that they'd made Dubois and Wardley, I started to salivate at the mouth. You know, honest to God, you know what? We've been absolutely spoiled, and I mean spoiled, because the heavyweight division is the flag bearer for world boxing, right? The heavyweight division, everybody looks up to, because it's the big boys. Now, we've been spoiled with some good heavyweight title fights. You know, we had Dubois, AJ, we had Usyk and Fury. You had Fury against, you know, I can't even remember now. But anyway, we had a whole mix of we had the Fury, the double act with Usyk. So he's had 2 fights there. You know, we've been spoiled with some really good fights, some really big fights. And now, this one, for me, right up there. Now, as you know, I'm a bit of a Dubois fan. I like Daniel Dubois. Because I like him, just because I like him, doesn't mean I can't give you an unbiased professional opinion, because, in my opinion, he ain't going to beat Wardley. Wardley, you know what? They need to put some respect on Fabio Wardley's name. To call out Fabio Wardley as a potential, I don't know. I don't have to look at this. This isn't a warm-up fight. You don't call Fabio Wardley out as a warm-up. You know, this is for the world title. So, like I say, they need to put some respect on his name, because Fabio Wardley's a world champion now in his own right. And that 5% I'm just talked to you about, he's 5% better now than what he was before he won the title, because that's what it gives you when you win a world title. Now, he's just beaten Joseph Parker, right? And messed him up quite badly. It wasn't an easy fight. It ebbed and flowed for periods in that fight, but ultimately, Wardley got the job done. That's what he does. He gets the job done. Look at his career. Now, he would have improved, and a lot is to be said of Daniel Dubois, because he's got an excellent jab. That was the difference between him and AJ when they fought, was that jab, which is beautiful. Wardley's got a good jab, and if Wardley's jab has improved since winning that title, then it's a battle of the jabs. And as you know, in heavyweight boxing, unlike any other weight division, you're 1 punch from victory, 1 punch from disaster. So it's not a question of the first one to land, because Dubois, there isn't enough lateral movement. You can only teach him so much. Dubois he's been to the top of that tree. He's tasted world title success. He knows what it is to be a world champion. You can't really improve when you've been a world champion. I mean, you never stop learning, but it's whether you can actually take that and put it into action. For me, there's not enough movement from Daniel Dubois. And once those bullets start getting fired, then mate, once those shots start coming in, boy, someone's getting knocked out. It's gonna be, you know what, their styles are gonna blend so well. Because like I say, they're both punchers, they both box reasonably well, they both got reasonably good stamina. And you know, as soon as that bell goes, mate, don't blink. It's going to be, boy, you know what, like I say, I'm quite excited about that one. I like Fabio Wardley. I've said many times before that they need to make that boy the president of the Who Needs Him club. You don't need Fabio Wardley. He's young, he's hungry, he hits hard, he's got a will. His will he reminds me of his will I'm talking about. He reminds me of someone like a Joe Fraser type guy, you know, that just won't sit down, just keeps coming after you. No matter what you throw at him, keeps coming after you. You know, he hounds you, and then he puts you to sleep. So if I'm going Wardley on this one. I don't, like I say, I like Dubois, and I've done it before. You know what? I'm going Wardley. I think Wardley wins this one.
Daniel Dubois entered Fight Week radiating certainty, vowing to deliver Fabio Wardley his maiden defeat. Following the explosive weigh-in confrontation, his hostile demeanor is sparking debate about his mental state. Meanwhile, Wardley maintains his collected approach, amplifying the personal stakes and danger surrounding this heavyweight encounter.
I'm full of confidence for this one. Full of confidence, you know, raring to go. And I've got to take his all. I'm going to be the first man to do it. And, you know, I'm just can't wait to go, man.
Fabio Wardley confronted Daniel Dubois over continuous disrespect throughout their promotional campaign, particularly following the volatile weigh-in altercation. Wardley emphasized his acceptance of competitive banter and heated exchanges, but demanded fundamental respect away from combat. His measured response demonstrated supreme confidence, while observers noted Dubois' conduct had already breach psychological boundaries before stepping into the ring.
Look, I'm a stand-up person. I respect those that respect me and that show me respect and behave respectfully. From the interactions I've had with him on a number of occasions, it's not been that. So I don't mind a bit of back and forth, a bit of boxing. Like, the game's the game. I'm not fussed by that. It is what it is. But ultimately, there needs to be a level of respect there, and hold yourself properly, act properly in the right situations, and those things haven't been done. So no, there's not.
Fabio Wardley proposed that Daniel Dubois might now be responding to external pressure instead of displaying authentic behavior. Wardley suspects Dubois' hostility appears manufactured and shaped by his inner circle following his emotional breakdown during their confrontation. This creates additional mental warfare, with Wardley maintaining his composed demeanor while Dubois seems increasingly unstable emotionally.
Seems you got under his skin a little bit.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think much will change, not between now and then. And if it does, then I think it would be inauthentic. I don't think that would be the real him. I think someone would have been in his ear and been like, right, you need to kind of bite back now.
Spencer Oliver emphasized that Daniel Dubois' primary obstacle isn't devastating power, but psychological stability approaching this contest. While Dubois possesses frightening physical capabilities, his volatile responses throughout fight week create legitimate worries. Following his aggressive behavior toward Fabio Wardley, analysts suggest mental fortitude may determine victory more than raw force.
Don recognises that it's not about the physicalities with Daniel Dubois, never has been. Yeah. You know, he's a big, strong guy, and like, if you get his mind right and he's that self-belief there, and that's what Don will be working on with.
Don Charles supported Daniel Dubois, following the controversial weigh-in confrontation, arguing that detractors are overlooking his proven performance history. He stressed that excluding specific setbacks, Dubois has overwhelmed the majority of his challengers. Nevertheless, his emotional explosion against Fabio Wardley has supporters wondering if his concentration is wavering before crucial battles.
Long time, a hell of a long time.
All I can say to all that, talk is cheap. I normally got a lot to say, but you know what? I choose to be silent today. I want to talk about today and what's going to happen on the 9th of May, and that's all. Talk is cheap. Daniel doesn't have to prove nothing. He's only ever lost to one man twice.
Carl Froch examined Daniel Dubois' psychological makeup and questioned his genuine desire when facing elite-level adversity. Despite recognizing Dubois' bone-crushing punching ability, Froch expressed reservations about reliability during pivotal encounters. These concerns intensify after the heated weigh-in incident where emotions clearly dominated rational thinking. Simultaneously, Fabio Wardley appears as the hungrier and more mentally stable competitor, creating fascinating dynamics for this volatile heavyweight confrontation.
How's the fight go? Well, I think it's obvious to see that I'll knock him out. Like, that's easiest to say. That's known. It's just whether I want to do it early or I want to do it late, to be honest.
Carl Froch maintained his skepticism regarding Daniel Dubois' mentality while acknowledging his fight-ending capabilities. He observed that Fabio Wardley lacks experience against world-class punchers, creating unpredictable variables in this matchup. Following the weigh-in drama where Dubois physically confronted Wardley, this bout now features significant psychological elements. Dubois offers established knockout power, while Wardley brings rising confidence and mental clarity, establishing a genuine examination of mindset alongside technical ability.
When it comes on top for him, Daniel Dubois, what's up there and does he want it? That's the only real question mark I've got over his career. Obviously, losing to Usyk's no disgrace, but he's a massive puncher, big, hard hitter. And Fabio Wardley has never really been in there. You've got Justice Hooney, you've got Joseph Parker, you've got Fraser Clark. None of them are really bangers, are they? None of them can really punch hard for heavyweights. I'm sure if they hit you on the chin, it hurt. But somebody like me who's got a granite chin.
Solomon Dubois expressed unwavering faith in his brother Daniel, boldly forecasting a knockout triumph over Fabio Wardley. His statements demonstrate solidarity and assurance within the Dubois team, despite backlash from the heated confrontation. Such familial backing typically strengthens fighters psychologically during promotional periods, yet external observers continue viewing Wardley as the more balanced and concentrated competitor currently. This dynamic is developing into a significant narrative before fight night.
The potential, I don't have to look at this. This isn't a warm-up fight. You don't call Fabio Wardley out as a warm-up. You know, this is for the world title. So, like I say, I need to put some respect on his name because Fabio Wardley's a world champion now in his own right. And that 5%...
Daniel Dubois opened up emotionally about his father's influence and the path that molded his boxing journey since childhood. He stressed dedication, hardship, and the groundwork established by his relatives that transformed him into an elite heavyweight contender. This vulnerable perspective sharply contrasts the hostility displayed during his weigh-in confrontation with Fabio Wardley. Though Dubois carries profound emotional drive, Wardley maintains his relaxed demeanor and mental stability despite mounting pressure around their heated rivalry.
How's the fight go? Well, I think it's obvious to see that I'll knock him out. Like that's easiest to say. That's known. It's just whether I want to do it early or I want to do it late, to be honest. I think you've seen with David that the caliber of opponents he's faced has been a bit below par. So I think once he gets in there with someone who's actually been in with a few people, been in a few real testy moments already against genuine opposition, I think he'll find out that he's in deep waters and he hasn't really figured out how to swim properly yet.
Duke McKenzie offered glowing recognition to Fabio Wardley, explaining how capturing world championship status elevated his self-assurance and fighting ability. He referenced Wardley's grueling victory against Fraser Clark as evidence of his capacity to endure challenging situations and emerge victorious. McKenzie also recognized Daniel Dubois' lethal jab and physical attributes, particularly remembering its effectiveness versus Anthony Joshua. Yet he stressed Wardley's technical evolution, complicating this encounter beyond simple power dynamics. Following Dubois' heated weigh-in aggression, this evaluation gains additional significance because the fight now involves emotional management alongside skill. Wardley projects calmness and consistency while Dubois delivers passion and hostility, creating a classic confrontation where jabbing accuracy, timing, and psychological strength will determine ring success. Daniel Dubois stated emphatically that he refuses simple comeback opportunities and demands the most challenging tests immediately available. He characterized this battle with Fabio Wardley as a genuine domestic warfare, demonstrating complete acceptance of accompanying pressure and risks. Dubois considers this precisely the caliber of fight necessary to re-establish his elite heavyweight credentials. Yet following the heated weigh-in episode where emotions exploded and he physically confronted Wardley, supporters question whether this aggression represents controlled confidence or emotional instability. Wardley conversely appears measured, strategic, and psychologically solid, establishing sharp contrast between both competitors. This encounter is increasingly viewed not merely as physical combat, but psychological examination of composure maintenance when pressure intensifies on fight night. Fabio Wardley shared an inspiring declaration while considering his career-defining achievements and explosive fighting approach. He stressed that his contests remain unpredictable and can transform instantly, especially when his power connects cleanly. Wardley cited his stunning rally against Fraser Clark as proof of his ability to reverse difficult situations even under adversity. He expects similar opportunities against Daniel Dubois, where single precise strikes could create immediate conclusions. This confidence stems from genuine experience rather than empty promises, as Wardley consistently demonstrates survival instincts while delivering spectacular finishes. However, escalating tension with Dubois has intensified their rivalry significantly. Following the heated weigh-in confrontation, this fight carries additional danger because emotions already reached boiling point. Wardley projects tranquility and assurance, while Dubois brings hostility and passion, establishing a collision where timing, patience, and perfect execution could determine everything within moments inside the squared circle. This confrontation between Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley has evolved beyond a simple heavyweight clash into a comprehensive battle of psychology, composure, and pressure management at boxing's highest level. Dubois offers devastating power, experience against quality opposition, and burning motivation to reclaim his status after recent disappointments, yet his emotional outburst during the weigh-in incident raises serious concerns about stress management capabilities. Conversely, Fabio Wardley approaches this fight with supreme confidence, collected energy, and conviction that single punches can alter outcomes instantly. What makes this matchup exceptionally dangerous is the contrasting mental approaches where Dubois fights with raw emotion and intensity, while Wardley appears relaxed and laser-focused regardless of surrounding chaos. Should Dubois emerge victorious, he will silence doubters and restore his reputation among the division's most feared competitors. However, if Wardley achieves the upset, it will revolutionize his trajectory and catapult him into worldwide prominence immediately. Currently, the paramount question involves pressure handling when stakes peak and crowds roar loudest. Will explosive yet volatile Daniel Dubois prevail, or will composed and calculating Fabio Wardley triumph? Share your predictions in the comments and reveal your choice for this heavyweight warfare, because this represents the fight where single errors create instant conclusions.